Generally, like, well, I'm not used to the game. Like, I'm just playing casually with my mate. Like, okay. But then.
All right, welcome back. This is gonna be against Tenpai, and this took me by surprise. But first and foremost, this guy's fairly new, so just be mindful of that. That's something that I had to be mindful of as well whenever I play newer players, because you kind of want to not just steamroll them and just like no mercy type of thing, you know, because you want to be helpful as well, because you want to make it a pleasant experience, because in the long run it'll benefit the entirety of the OTS that you go to, because if they have a pleasant experience and you're insightful, that means it's more welcoming, it's more encouraging into actually continuing to play the game, right? Because if you give it an unpleasant experience, they're just not going to want to come back, and that in the long run that hurts your community, right? Like that's kind of defeats the purpose of why you play the game, right? You want more players, and being insightful. And I know, like, sometimes giving a tip here and there within the game, it might cost you the game, but I guess in the long run it'll just benefit you and the rest of the store much more, because you retain a new player, and then they probably can introduce more players, and you know, it just helps the store thrive, which is something to consider when you're playing against a new player. But yeah, that's gonna be crazy. So this is why I like Title. Title, sending Enchantress, sending Smyger, it's just so good. Like, it's Whirling and Ash, especially if you already have the card you have. I add Inclusion here, and then we go for our Omni, give this Griffin, discarding another Enchantress. Yeah, I mean, I guess you could have played it around it if, like, I think I was considering whether I wanted to ensure that I have the adventure engine to be in rotation, or I have the, because I could have easily just gone Enchantress and then bait Ash with that, and then go Tidal effects and the other Enchantress go for Smyger, right? But I don't know, I feel like the Omni would have been a bit better, I think, here. But yeah, so Inclusion, this is where we just have protection, we do our basic Crystron combo. Most of you should know this by now. Inclusion always adds Sulfador unless your hand demands for something else, but for the most part it's gonna be pretty standard. Yeah, so then we go for that. I think I opened Sulfador, I think. I'm pretty sure. Did I see it? I can't remember. Yeah, and generally Sulfador will always send your yellow and purple, so Softener and Theisfern, but in this case, since Theisfern already searched a spell trap, which was Inclusion, we have to send the trap so we can add it back with our Synchro. And I have not used my normal summon yet, so I can just normal summon Tristaros. Okay. Oh no, I think I have Droll. Yeah, I have Droll Ash. So I felt like I needed to ensure that I got the Omni, because if for whatever reason, like, my Omni gets stopped, then actually no, I think maybe no, yeah, no, I did. I think that was my thought process, because like I would rather him Ash the title and me gain access to my Omni, so I can oppress them with Droll and Ash Blossom. I'm pretty sure Ash is one of my other cards, and yeah, I think that would hold them off, and then it won't be like an insane setup, but like it would get me into the next turn. That's why I think I sequence it this way. And keep in mind, you always summon Tristaros and a 5 off of Tristaro's Grave Effect. It plays around Nibiru better. I was contemplating whether to put the Infinity in the EMZ, but that would cut off an SP line, so I don't know. I would just no. So I just passed. So this is like your basic board with Adventure. You have double Omni instead of one, right? And then I'm just letting him know, like, everything that's on field. Yeah. He goes Harpy, and I'm like, oh my god, is this gonna be Tenpai? This is where I was like, this might be Tenpai. So I let this resolve. And he goes Regeki. I was like, oh, I don't have Cherubini, bro. So I have to negate this. If I had Cherubini, that's insane. Because Cherubini, oh my god, Cherubini is an amazing card. The fact that you can protect yourself from destruction, which is crazy. And he goes summons Pydra. And that's why I was like, what the hell, bro? It's just so many Tenpai. I was like, okay, fair enough. And then I'll chain to it, because I know that I can just negate the Kaiman or negate the summoning. So I should be fine on top of the Ash that I have and have draw, so it's gonna keep him impressed.
And then
Yeah, so this resolve and sync.
Yeah, so here comes my Dragster.
second climate.
Yeah, and right here
Resolution. Do you have priority?
I give him priority, and he doesn't do anything, and then resolution I draw. What he could have done here is chain the Kaiman, but either way, I think looking at my hand and my field, I could have just negated it. I could Ashstick, I could have Infinity negate, I could have Dragster negate it. So it depends on what his hand is. What is his hand? Can we see his hand? Yeah, I'm letting him know now that he could have chained it. But yeah, just little technical play like this, you learn along the way. And this is where you just, I don't have to do much. I just go battle phase, and that's GG. And he's like, oh, the awkward handshake before the match is over. So game 2, and he makes me start. I mean, typical for Tenpai, right? They make you start. They want to go second. It's a bit more. It's a bit less consistent because they got hit on the balance. So yeah, and it's really new. So I wasn't sure if he was on Fiendsmith. So usually that's how the deck is playing right now, Fiendsmith. And this, yeah, this is where he's a bit inexperienced. So he just like Valors preemptively, and you just develop your technical play, and you just accumulate a bunch of insight just by playing the game. And yeah, that's something he's lacking, but if he continues to play, that'll change. And so I just normal summon Smiger, go for Cherubini, and then this is why I like Adventure in this deck, because the deck already plays Cherubini, right? And it only makes sense to just play Enchantress. Like, why wouldn't you? It just doesn't make any sense. The main thing, it's like, oh, I can't use my normal summon Tristaros effect, but you don't really play it that way. You know, you can, because there are times where you don't open up Adventure and you just play regular Crystron. But the fact that you can just go like, you'll just see, like it's just insane. And then Griffin is your 5th summon, which is cool. Search Inclusion, since I already have access to. Search Cluster, since I already have access to Inclusion, and then search Sufador, and then we just do a regular play. Yeah, and I'm just counting the summons here. I'm like, okay, let's get Griffin now. Because you can do like a little mind game here, like play like, oh, why isn't he summoning the Omni first? Then right before they expect it to be. And then putting the Griffin there plays on Ogre as well. So if they try to they go Nib, then change Ogre, your Griffin can't be destroyed. So that's a cool thing to remember. Dumps to 2, dumps to purple, dumps yellow and purple. So Fafnir and TEESPRING. And then this is where I would typically add the turtle. But I was testing the deck without turtle today, and there were a few times where I just missed the turtle because it's like an obscure line that they just don't expect. Especially if you don't need to add back the trap off of the LS, and it just comes up. Right here, I feel like maybe I could have placed my stuff a bit differently. You see why? Because I think protecting Infinity and protecting Griffin, I think that's priority. Because they're Omnis, whereas this one, oh, I guess it really depends, I guess. So it depends on the game. Because then you can protect your Trist from an Ogre as well. So I could have placed Trist on the other end and then put Infinity where Trist is right now. But yeah. Okay, and the cool thing about this setup is that Dracoback can save your Cherubini multiple times, because you'll send it for, if your Cherubini gets destroyed, you can send Dracoback and then activate Dracoback, re-equip it to the token, and then you can send it again to protect again, and that's like really cool. It's like really good. So just keep that in mind. That's something that the deck can is capable of doing.
Well, I got nothing, but I'll start off with the Raigeki.
I think it's Raigeki. So the only thing that's threatened right now is the token and Infinity. So I have to negate, because otherwise I'll lose my Omni.
I will activate.
He goes Kaiman. I'm like, okay, I think this is fine because I have access to my cluster, so I'm not really scared. So I don't really have to negate that, because I can just pop it when he activates the effect. I can negate it with Infinity. Negate it with Griffin. Yeah, I just negate it. Chandra, the one of. He goes battle phase, and in battle phase I just pop it, and Yeah.
So I can shuffle a Crystron card from Banish or Grave to the deck.
And just knowing that Kaimin is just that one, I'm not really in fear, you know, unless you drew like, you know, in the third, it just passes. But that's pretty wild. Yeah, no, but this was an interesting game, to say the least, because I had, like, along the way, I had to, like, explain myself for everything I did, and it's something that you just have to, like, be considerate about, you know? But it was a fun game for sure.
I drew it, but yeah, no.
Turn?
Yeah, for turn. So yeah,
And then this just protected
yeah,
them.
exactly. Yeah, so so it's the reason why I'm playing Tenpai is feels like it's a simple deck, basically majority hand traps. I don't have to think too much.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, it's good to ease into the game that way. Because if you like gradually build on your fundamentals,
Yeah, that's right.
it'll be better. Your technical play will be far better.
Yeah.
Because if you're trying to learn a combo, you're gonna miss the fundamentals, like niche things you can do.
Right, yeah.
Yeah. So this is good. It's a good way to start.